How to manifest fast by harnessing the power of our focus. We all know that our thoughts create our realities, right? And our thoughts are being created through our belief system. So are our feelings, our emotional systems as well, right? Whatever we believe to be true, it turns out to influence our thoughts and our feelings. But what gives our thoughts the power is our focus. Whether it's consciously or subconsciously, whatever we are putting our focus into, that ends up manifesting into our reality. And I'm gonna give you one example from my life that happened really recently. It was through the use of affirmations, how quickly it manifested into my reality. And that was because I was able to harness my focus in such a way that I had no doubt that it was going to happen, and it ended up happening really fast. So if you want to learn how to focus into the things that you want to consciously and subconsciously, this video is for you. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned and let's get started. Welcome back to this video. My name is Rav. I'm a manifesting coach, and if you want to work one-on-one with me, you can find my email down in the description box below. And I also have this free guide called Speed Up Your Manifestation. It's really awesome. You can go and check it out. Also, if you are looking for a more comprehensive step-by-step guide in order to manifest your desires, your specific desires, I have a new course available, which is called the Manifestation Accelerator. I've also put the link for that down in the description box below. So I wanted to start this video with a quote from Neville. And here he says, "Become aware of what you are thinking, and you will recognize a law between your mood and your surrounding circumstances." And this is a very powerful quote by Neville, and he's here talking about almost instant manifestations in a way. Because sometimes, if you look at your own reality, right? If you are in a good mood, you start to manifest a lot of great things around you. Accordingly, let's say that you get a flat tire and you're kind of in a pissed off mood, and the whole day goes down in a downward spiral sometimes, unless you correct your thought patterns and go from there. So what actually is influencing our thoughts to manifest into our reality is the focus that we're putting on it. If you look at thoughts, it's almost like putting magnifying glass to burn some paper. If you have the right amount of focus, the paper is gonna burn. But if you take the magnifying glass away from the paper, too much away from the paper, it's not gonna do anything. The focus is just gonna evaporate, right? It's just gonna dissipate. Nothing's gonna happen. And you can look at manifestation in a similar way, right? Whenever you're giving the most power to your thoughts through your focus, that's when things start manifesting super fast into your reality. And let me give you an example, and this is something that I did very consciously, okay guys? So recently I started posting some Neville Goddard videos in my channel, and at first I wasn't expecting anything, but I realized that people were loving it. I mean, you guys were loving it, right? So I wanted it to reach more people in a way. At first, I think one of the videos reached about 10,000 views, and I was like, okay, this is awesome, but why not take it even more, right? So I was affirming to myself. I didn't affirm it for any particular video, but I was just saying to myself, one of these Neville Goddard videos is gonna blow up. I don't really care about which video was gonna reach the most people, because it wasn't really about the views, right? I wanted Neville's message to reach more people like me, right? Manifestors like you, who are in this journey, who are trying to do their best in order to create the dream reality that they've been craving from their soul, right? And I can relate to that. I've been through that process, and whenever I first started hearing Neville, it wasn't really easy for me to just listen to his entire lecture. It wasn't just because of the biblical references. I know a lot of people have bashed me for that too, and a lot of people have been supportive of that, not trying to dismiss the Bible in any way, because I know it's a very powerful scripture, right? But when I was just listening to the stories, that's when my blood would start pumping, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys out there. And I think a lot of you were really resonating with that fact, so I was intending for one of the videos to blow up, and soon enough, within a couple of weeks, one video went up to 100,000 views. When the matter of fact is, before a couple of months, my entire channel didn't even have 100,000 views. So if you want to verify this, you can definitely go and watch it on the video section of my channel to see which video it is. So now let's talk about how we can make our focus super sharp in order to influence our thoughts, beliefs, as well as our reality. So one thing that I really like to do, and something that I shared in my previous videos as well, is I went through this process, really introspective process of examining my thoughts. And you can look at it as mental diets. Just examine like whatever you're thinking throughout the day. And at the end of the day, you can take notes and just remember like what you were thinking throughout the day. And this way, what starts to happen is once you start putting awareness into what are the contents of your mind, some of the things are going to start auto-correcting, because whenever your subconscious starts to see that, okay, this is something that has been happening in my life, but now I don't want it to happen because that's not my goal, right? Before that, it was completely unaware, but now it starts to become aware, then it starts to autocorrect in a way. But we don't want to stop there, right? Let's say that we have thoughts that are more counterproductive. There are opposing thoughts that keep coming to take your thoughts down in this downward spiral kind of way, right? Where you're just thinking about, okay, it's not happening. Where is my SP? I don't see anything happening there with someone else. All those kinds of things, right? You want to go back to examine those thoughts and create exact opposite affirmations of whatever you're thinking. And you can also create some mental conversations, some inner conversations of you hearing that, okay, you have already auto-corrected those thoughts and now you are living the dream life that you want, right? That's one way to do it. And I want to challenge you to try this on for the next 7 days. Try it for the next 7 days and write down your thoughts at the end of the day. And if you don't like something, you can also do revision in order to correct whatever you're thinking ahead of time. And that's really going to start to shift your focus from it's not here to it's happening, because I'm putting in the effort. That's going to start to happen. And also, I wanted to share with you something that comes from the Eastern philosophy, something that I've learned from Ramana Maharshi, which is the concept of who am I. And this has really helped me take my focus to the next level. And Neville talks about this a lot, right? The God self. But by doing this process of what he calls the self-inquiry, I was able to observe my thoughts and realize that I'm not just the thoughts, but I am the awareness beneath it. So I do this sort of meditation where I just sit in silence, and whenever thought starts to come, I just start questioning, am I these thoughts, or am I the observer of these thoughts? So when I do this self-inquiry process, all I do is basically sit down and observe my thoughts, and I ask myself, who am I, right? So whenever thoughts start to come, I ask myself, am I these thoughts? And the answer is obviously no, because there's something deeper than that, the awareness that's beneath it. I start to realize that thoughts are something that's more like these waves that come and go. And that awareness itself is the God state. When you start to tune into that God self, a lot of these importance, this attachment towards our desires, are there for the lack of, just drops down there. And life starts to become more simpler, easier, and more joyous. And then when you look at the things that you want, or when you focus on the things that you want, the focus becomes super sharp, and you can go after it with a lot more clarity, and you can just drop down the importance and other things that are blocking you from getting there. So what you can do is you can simply sit down and start looking at your thoughts in a very non-judgmental way. You don't want to control it, you don't want to change the direction of it, but whenever you notice that these are just thoughts that are coming and going because that's what they're gonna be doing, it's gonna really get you to this level of awareness where you just start to see that, okay, these thoughts are not even that important. Whatever they're saying, it's not that important, because I am not those thoughts. I'm actually the awareness that is above that, okay? And that awareness itself is the God state that Neville talks about in his lectures. And once you are able to use that God state to imagine the reality, or affirm whatever you want during that state, what starts to happen is what you want starts to feel like it's something very attainable, and you want to get into that feeling, okay? It's more like you get into that knowing of your absolute truth that, yes, you are the operant power of that reality. When I came out of the meditation, I would be in a really high vibe state, into this God state, right? And I would start affirming my affirmations where I would say that, yes, one of the videos has already blown up. I've gone over 15,000 views. slowly but surely that started to happen into my reality, and that happens within a couple of weeks. Guys, I really want you to apply this into your life, right? So go ahead and try that 7-day mental diet process where you are like observing your thoughts and writing it down at the end of the day for the next 7 days, okay? And then you'll start to see a change in your thought pattern because you'll be observing your thought from a different way. Also, you can try this self-inquiry process and observe your thought from such a level that you start to see that your thoughts are just mere waves that are occurring, but you are the ocean underneath that's always still. And that's the awareness, that's your God self. So I trust that this video was of great help to you. If you want to work one-on-one with me, you can find my email down in the description box below. And don't forget to download the free guide as well as check out my new course, the Manifestation Accelerator. Link for both of them is down in the description box below as well. So with that being said, guys, I want to wish you all the very best. Goodbye and namaste.